So I run an AI avatar agency called Mentrix that makes around 30 to 40K per month in revenue, and I mentor 12 other students that are building the same business. And every week I get the same exact questions of people asking me in the DMs and on sales calls. And so this video is pretty much addressing every single one of those questions and the exact answers I would give without holding anything back. So by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what is going on, what this business model is, how I'm actually generating clients, and just get answers to some of the most common questions that you might be having yourself. So the first question I always get is, what is an AI avatar agency and how is it different from these AI automation agencies? So an AI avatar agency, super simple. You are taking existing AI avatar technology like HeyGen, 11 Labs, Higgsfield, and using that to generate high quality content for business owners. The biggest problem is that business owners don't want to be on camera, or they're camera shy in the first place, so they don't have a social presence, or they haven't created content or put themselves out there. So essentially what you do is create an AI avatar persona or a clone of them that allows them to not need to step in front of a camera consistently every single week, and you can handle their entire social presence, whether that be on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, or whatever. Some of the services that I provide to my clients include social media management, whether that be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or LinkedIn, and also the other side of stuff such as course creation. So I just finished working with a client and we essentially created a 45 video course for them from scratch without him having to be on camera at all. Now, it is pretty different from this lane of AI automations, chatbots, voice receptionists, the stuff that you usually see on TikTok or Twitter or whatever nonsense. The reason being, those services are much more saturated. The thing is, you can just find a developer in India to fulfill that service for you at a much cheaper cost. And so if you are actually trying to build a competitive advantage, there's not really a benefit of you trying to offer this service yourself. Another problem with these AI automation services, which I used to sell almost 2 years ago, is that you are selling time saving. And the problem with time saving is that it is harder for a client to justify paying you for a time saving service rather than a growth focused or revenue driving service. And so early on, when I was building my AI automation agency, I struggled with the closing side of things because people couldn't justify paying me for a time saving service. But as soon as I shifted over to this AI avatar model where I focus on growth and revenue and lead generation, where clients are paying me in exchange for more revenue or more leads, that became a completely easier service to sell. And now I'm hovering at around 67% close rate, whereas before it was around 40%. Now, the next common question I get is, how much money do I need to get started? The realest answer I can give you is around $150 to $250 a month for the base subscriptions of the main platforms that you're going to be using. So this is going to be HeyGen, 11 Labs, Higgsfield, and Claude Pro, right? That's a total of like $100, $150 max. If you want to add on top of that, it'll probably be Google Workspace, Notion, maybe GoDaddy for website hosting. Other than that, you don't really need anything else, and it shouldn't cost you much more. A lot of people come to me asking me about stuff like, oh, do I need a LLC? Do I need a logo, website? Look, you're wasting time on the wrong things because nobody cares. You can act as an independent contractor and start delivering the service immediately. You are planning around things that don't actually matter rather than taking the action you need to. So that's my real answer to that question. Okay, so the next question is, can I do this with an existing 9 to 5 or job, or do I need to quit? Don't quit. That's stupid. If anyone tells you to quit your job to build a business, like, do it if you're crazy like me, but I wouldn't recommend that. Have a source of income as you build this on the side. And yeah, just spend around 10 to 15 hours a week for the first 3 months at least, building this consistently. And once you start seeing revenue come in, once you actually generate consistent client flow, then you can transition over to potentially going all in on the business. Do I need to be technical in order to deliver this service or build this business? I mean, look, I have a biased answer because yes, I have an electrical engineering degree and I have a coding background, but the reason I pivoted out of AI automations into AI avatars was because I just hated coding and I hated delivering technical services. I mean, they were hard to, first of all, explain to a client or a lead. And so I've lost deals because the service that I was selling was too complicated and business owners didn't want to worry about it. On the other side, the AI avatars, it's no code. I'm using existing tools and it's actually more fun. I get to focus on the creative side of things rather than technical development, which if that's what you enjoy doing, then maybe this isn't the right thing for you. But if you're more on the side of creative strategy, development, marketing, this is probably a much better avenue to approach AI. Do I need a personal brand or audience to start? To be honest, no. But I think the beauty of what you're offering is that the product kind of sells itself. And so some of the first clients that I got was from building my own personal brand using this technology. And so I just made AI avatars of myself, started posting content with that, and pretty much used the product, like I said, to sell itself, talking about the product, talking about how I built the product, and showcasing. So when people hopped on sales calls, it was pretty easy. I was like, look, this is the exact product that brought you into this sales call. Why would it not do the same for your leads? And so, no, you don't really need a existing audience or personal brand to start, especially in terms of lead generation. Like, you can do cold outreach on LinkedIn, cold email, and start getting your first clients. And if you have a warm network, whether that be through like alumni connections, friends and family, that is also a good place to start generating leads. What if I'm not a good salesperson? Well, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what business you're building. You're still building a business. It doesn't matter if it's an AI business. The business part is more important than the AI. And so, whether you like it or not, you're going to need to have sales skills. And if you truly, truly do not want to do any sales and you are a very technical person or behind the scenes person, I would suggest that you partner up with someone that is front end, that is really into lead generation, sourcing, outreach, taking sales calls, talking to customers. That would be a good, healthy medium where you're kind of focusing on the back end fulfillment. And then you have a partner that is helping manage the actual deal flow and consistent sales process. Isn't the AI avatar market saturated? I mean, not really. I don't think there's many people that are even offering such a service, let alone businesses that are using the technology. I think a lot of people are still stuck in the thought process of like AI avatars don't look realistic. They don't actually generate leads. They don't generate real content that can be used for a business, right? A professional business content. But I mean, I've disproven that. Like, I've generated over 1 billion views across all of my clients and generated thousands of leads for them. And so I know it works. You can take a look at my Instagram content in my story highlights. You can see all my client testimonials and the fact that this is a real service, it is a real product, and it generates real results for real businesses. If HeyGen is available to everyone and there's free YouTube tutorials online, why would anyone pay you as an agency? I mean, honestly, that's a great question. The reality is, though, I give away all of my business processes for free. So most of my clients that have paid me to work with me have looked at my YouTube content, looked at my entire implementation process, see that I know what I'm doing, and don't want to do it themselves. So they would rather pay me to just take care of it for them. And so Alex Hermosi, who is my absolute goat, he has this kind of catchphrase that he says where he talks about give away the education, sell the implementation. And that's really what I do is you give away as much knowledge as possible because a sophisticated business owner knows that they do not want to spend the time figuring it out because you have clearly demonstrated in your free content that you have figured it out. And so they would rather just pay you to take care of this service and deliver the results for them. What can I actually charge clients for this service? Well, I'll just give my personal experience. When I first started, I was selling packages for 3K a month, 30 Instagram videos completely done for you, right? I would do all the research, the ideation, I would generate the scripts, generate the avatar, edit the video, and post it on the client's behalf. And I would call it a 95% done for you service. And so this was like a pretty no brainer for clients. They're like, dude, you're going to take care of the entire process and I don't even have to record. Like, it's a pretty no brainer. That is how I started. Some of my mentorship students, one of them is doing 1K per month for 15 videos, like video ads, right? So they're like super simple, 1K a month, trying to get as many clients as possible, delivering the exact same style of videos, right? They're working with home service businesses. And so all the ads and content are pretty much the same. So they're choosing to go the route of like higher volume of clients, but similar type of content and deliverable. Some of my other students are doing 3K a month for 15 videos, right? He's in the real estate niche. He is helping realtors pretty much put themselves out there without being on camera all day. He's offering the service of 3K a month for 15 videos. I've also created course material for clients at $12,500 contracts for a 2-hour course, right? And so it really depends on what does a business need, how much does it take for you to actually deliver, both in terms of your time commitment and the amount of people that you need to hire in order to fulfill the service. So I know I gave a bunch of different answers, but the reality is it's case by case. And so I can't give a one size fits all answer to that question. Where do I find clients for the AI avatar agency services? So I have a pretty solid order of operations that I followed, and then I also kind of teach to all of my mentorship students. It is first starting with warm outreach, right? Whether that be family friends, your old alumni, old coworkers, people you've met at conferences, whatever it may be, there is someone in your network that could value from this service. And even if there's no one in your network that can't value from this service or is not a business owner, they probably know someone. And so what I do is just do the coffee chat method, get on as many coffee chats with people as possible, catch up with old friends, old network, old connections, and try to essentially identify if they would be valid for this use case, or if they know someone that they could connect you with that could value from the service that you're offering. Now, while you're doing this warm outreach, you can start switching to cold outreach. I got my first 5 clients from cold DMs. Essentially, what I did is I found Instagram accounts that had posted consistently in the past, but then stopped. And so I pretty much DM'd them. I sent a personalized video to every one of my leads. I did 30 a day for 30 days straight. And that is how I got my first 5 clients. I sent a personalized video pretty much saying, hey, I see that you used to post content consistently, but I'm sure life got in the way. I don't know what happened, but I see you're not posting as consistently anymore. What if I were to create an AI clone of you that I can use to post content on your behalf and generate leads and engagement for you every single day? And that was a pretty strong pattern interrupt, pretty strong hook. They were very interested in what I had to say. And so it brought a lot of conversations, a lot of sales calls, a lot of reps, and eventually I closed my first 5 clients. The final part of this order of operations is through content. You want to be your own first case study. And so what I did is while I was doing the outreach, I was also creating my own personal brand with the AI avatar. I would post content every single day with the AI avatar, talking about different business problems, pain points, and then offering a solution, and then sending them to a lead magnet or my free consultation link. And so now organic content has been my consistent lead source, and that's all I do. I don't do any outreach anymore because my content pretty much is a flywheel that generates leads on its own. How long does it take until I actually see results? Look, this is kind of a stupid question because you can spend 10 hours a day or you can spend 2 hours a day. It really depends on how much work you put in toward doing this outreach, toward building this product for yourself, toward talking to customers. Like understanding the AI is actually very simple. HeyGen, 11 Labs, Higgsfield, these are all very simple tools to master. I would say that probably takes 5 hours of time to master those tools to enough of a point where you can deliver this service and create good quality product. The hardest part is going to be doing the outreach, talking to customers, getting on sales calls, getting rejected constantly, and then finally closing a deal and then delivering that service. So I don't really have an answer. What I like to say is 90 days, put in 10 to 15 hours a week, you can easily start hitting these first 5 to 10 clients and getting around 10K per month with the right systems, right? But like I said, it's a stupid question because it really depends on how much effort you put in every single day to get that direct output. And that's pretty much it. These are the main questions that I've been getting constantly in my DMs and on sales calls. And so hopefully some of them hit and answered your questions and resonated with you because that is the point. And so if you're someone that's been consuming AI content for months without actually taking action or making a dollar from it, starting and stopping, not feeling technical enough, or you're more confused from before you actually started looking into resources, there might be a reason why. It's because you lack structure. You don't have clear sequences, you don't have feedback when you make mistakes, and you don't have accountability behind the actual work that you're putting in. So if you're someone that wants to skip the trial and error, get straight to results, and build a sustainable business to replace your 9 to 5 income, or just build an income on the side by leveraging this AI technology, I have a one-on-one mentorship that could be a good fit for you. So if you're someone that's looking to get results like my students, Trevor, who closed 15K worth of deals in the first 30 days of working with me, or Chad, who closed his first 3K client in the first 2 weeks of working with me, or Matt, who ended up becoming a fractional CMO for a family office to implement this entire system for them. The way I work is super simple. You get access to all of my agency systems and templates that I am running right now in my active agency, delivering for my clients. So every time I update my systems or SOPs, you get access to those. On top of that, you also get weekly one-on-ones with me where I sit with you and actually break down what's going on in your business and your business roadmap so we can keep aligned and I can hold you accountable to the goals that you're looking to achieve. And outside of all of that, you have WhatsApp access to me to pretty much message me 24/7 and receive very long, annoying voice notes where I'll give you detailed feedback on pretty much anything you need so you can avoid the mistakes that I've made in the past 2 years building this business. My promise is also super simple. If you actually put in the work, spend 10 to 15 hours a week building this business, implement everything I give you, and in 90 days you still don't hit 10K per month, I'll continue to work with you at no additional cost until you do. So if that sounds like you're serious about making this happen, click the first link in the description to schedule a call with me so we can talk through it and see if you're a good fit. And if it's not, I'll straight up tell you, disqualify you, and we will leave the call there. And I'll send you some resources that'll get you set along the right path. Regardless, I post content every single week on this channel breaking down the AI avatar business model, how I'm delivering to clients, all the new technology that's coming out, and detailed tutorials and breakdowns on what's going on in the space. And as always, take care.